everybody. Hope everybody is doing good this Friday. Hope everyone is doing good and all relaxed and everything. I'm doing okay. Having a little bumpy road though and stuff. Just haven't been getting motivated lately. So, but hey, I gotta suck it up and keep going, right? So anyway, guys, for those of you new, hi, I'm Jeanette from Bodega Sewing Craft, and welcome to Embroidery Happy Hour. And this happy hour, what I want to do is I want to embroider a strap for a handbag that I just recently got. Okay. My husband got season tickets to go see the Commanders. So when you go to a football stadium, you have to go with a clear bag, right? So I bought several clear bags. So I guess, it's like you got to keep buying the pocketbooks till you get the pocketbook that kind of like feels right for you. So I'm going to try this one out, and it came with a strap. So one of the things that I wanted to do was I wanted to embroider this strap with my name on it, just put Woods on it. So I figured, why not do it on the live? That way you guys can see me actually do the whole design from, how I design it to hooping it on the machine and embroidering it and all that good stuff. Okay. But before we get to actually making this bag, or not making the bag, but actually embroidering the strap, just a couple of things that I wanted to share with you guys. So as you guys know, I have been doing the embroidery club at Susie's Quilt Shop. And it's going to be, the next meeting is going to be tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. And it's going to be at Susie's Quilt Shop in Manassas, Virginia. So if you're in the area and stuff and you want to stop by, it's totally free. It doesn't cost anything. Just come on by and stuff. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be talking a lot about knockdown stitches and embossed files, and embroidering on like bath towels, different types of towel fabrics and stuff. So, because I saw it the last time when we had our first meet and greet last month. There were a lot of people in there that were really new to embroidery. And, there was a lot of questions about, I don't know too much about stabilizers, toppers, machine speeds and what I should do for what type of material and all that kind of stuff. So I was kind of like jotting down some of the things that people wanted to learn. And a lot of people were asking about knockdown stitches and embossed files. So I figured this month I would cover that. And, I'm going to be sharing on the screen how to use knockdown stitches, what an embossed file is. And then I'm even going to have a machine there so that way we can embroider something with a knockdown stitch and an embossed file. So that way people can take a look at it and see, how easy it is and what kind of a difference that it makes, So excited about that. And just to let you guys know, next Friday, I'm actually going to be in Fredericksburg, Virginia with my sister and my mom, and also the Crafty Puerto Rican is going to be there as well. And I think other folks are going to meet me there as well. And we're going to be going to the Original Sew and Quilt Expo. Okay, so we're going to be there Friday night and Saturday night. And, we're planning on meeting on Friday where I'm going to look for a spot. Usually what I do is I look for a particular quilt, something that's kind of easy to find. And I set up a time. Usually we'll probably be meeting around maybe 6 o'clock. And then at the quilt. And then from there, then we're going to go over to a restaurant to have dinner. So that way we can just talk, enjoy each other's company, and just share a meal together. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I am going to be taking classes on Friday, and I'm also going to be taking classes on Saturday. And I got me and my mom's tickets right here. Let me see. I'll tell you right now what we're doing because she's taking all the classes with me. And I'll tell you exactly what we're going to be doing. Okay, this is the reward. This is for the shopping bag. I'm gonna let you know I'm going through the tickets right now. The first thing, I'm going to be taking a class on Friday. My first class on Friday is going to be 8:30 in the morning. I don't know how I'm going to make that, but I got to make it. It's delicate embroidery, lace, and tulle. So that's going to be pretty cool, learning how to embroider on lace and tulle and stuff. So I thought that would be an interesting class to take. The next one that I'm going to be taking on Friday is from 1 to 4, and that one is heirloom sewing techniques on a serger. So I thought that would be a neat class to take as well, especially because I have 2 sergers, even though I have been using them lately. But heirloom sewing techniques kind of interest me. So I figured that would probably be fun for me to watch as well. Then let me see. Then on Saturday morning, got to get up at 8:30 again. I don't feel like I went back to work, but that's okay. Continuing line quilting with an embroidery machine, which is using those quilt patterns on an embroidery machine so that you could quilt your quilt. So I really wanted to do that because I did buy one pattern and I was trying to do it, and it came out pretty good. It came out okay, but I figured they're going to be doing this on a big hoop, and I figured let me take a look and see how they actually make that, because it'd probably be pretty cool. So I'm excited about that. That's another 2-hour class. And then after that one on Saturday from 12:30 to 3:30, I will be going to hems and borders on a serger. So as you can see, I'm kind of taking a lot of serger classes because I really want to know hems and borders. I thought that would be pretty cool too, because I know how to do a hem stitch, but I want to see if there's other stuff you can do out there with the serger. So that's pretty cool. So all in all, I guess I am taking this year, I'm going to be taking 1, 2. Oh, no, that's not it. Hold on. I am going to be taking, I don't think these are, yeah. Okay, I'm going to be taking 4 classes. So I'm going to be taking 2 on Friday and 2 on Saturday. So pretty excited about that. I think that's going to be a lot of fun learning experience. My mom is going to be taking the same classes with me as well. So that's going to be a lot of fun. This is her first time going to this event. So it's going to be interesting to get her take on it. I know her thing is crochet, but it's going to be a lot of fun to go with her. And, for her to see all the fabrics and all that kind of stuff. And they probably have maybe a couple of booths that maybe sell yarn or something like that. We'll just see. But I know a lot of it is really fabric and sewing stuff. But she used to sew too. She used to sew me and my sister's clothes when we were little and stuff. She always had us looking the same. I don't know why, but that, I guess it was cheaper that way, because you just buy the fabric as a yarn. So if you really think about it, that was probably what it was and stuff. So that those are the announcements that I kind of have, is that next Friday I probably won't have a live because I will be at the Expo. So I probably won't be able to live stream from there because I tried one time and the internet just really wasn't that great. So I wasn't able to really do it and stuff. So so what do you call so let's see. And then let me see. So I mentioned the embroidery club. It's going to be at Susie's tomorrow, and also then the weekend after that I will be in Fredericksburg, Virginia, and stuff. And while my sister is here, also, just to let you guys know, I am going to be filming the reveal of my sewing room. It is done. It is perfect. It is ready to go. I'm pretty excited about it. No more moving the furniture around. I think I got it down packed to the process. So I really want to film her seeing it and getting her view on what does she think, because she is a quilter, and I wanted to show her the table that I got and everything. So I wanted to just get a feel and stuff. So I figured that video would be pretty good, because then you'll have her perspective and my perspective on how everything turned out in that sewing room. So so I'm pretty excited about that. Okay, so I am, let's see, I am going to go ahead and I am going to start the process now, because I want to get this strap embroidered, and I want to show you guys how I actually do this, okay? So what I'm going to do is, first of all, I did show you guys the bag, right? It's one of these stadium bags. Whenever you go to a football stadium, you have to have the bag that is totally clear. You can't see anything in there, right? So this strap actually comes off. It has the little clips that come off. So before I embroider it, I figured why have this hanging on here? So I'm going to just take this off for now because I don't need it. So just so that we can take a look at this strap, let me see. This strap, and I'm going to measure this. I got a little thing right here. It is, let me go from the back so that way I can really see, you know, how big it is. Let's see, from one, it's like 1 1/4 inch. Okay, so this is like a 1 1/4 inch wide strap. Okay, so this strap, I'm going to just align it because I want to make sure that I embroider it on the right spot. As you can see, like right here, this is the back of the strap, and then this is the front of the strap. So what I want to do is I actually want to put my name on this strap right here, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hoop it. I'm actually going to use tearaway stabilizer on this as well. So I'm going to actually hoop this, and we're going to put this on my multi-needle machine and have it stitched there. And then I'll also, but before we do that, of course, we're going to have to create our file, right? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add in brilliance to the site, okay? And I'm hoping that you do see it, and I think you do. So what I'm going to do here is now I'm going to add my font. And I'm going to see if it's work. I don't think I can control this here from my thing. All right, so let me get this out of here. Let me close this. All right, so I'm going to have to do this another way. I'm actually going to have to share my entire screen in order to get this. I wonder why, but it's like for some reason, it doesn't really allow me to do the thing. So, all right, so now I'm going to do this, and I'm gonna do this, and I want to make sure that you guys can see me okay and stuff. And I'm going to change my hoop settings because I think my hoop settings are a little bit too big. I'm going to do a 5 by 5. There you go. And I just want to be able to check YouTube to make sure that you guys can see exactly what you're supposed to see. You know, because I remember once I couldn't, you know, I was over here talking, and then you guys could not see anything. But yes, you guys can see everything. Okay, good. So we are good. I'm not worried about that now. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I just want to put my name in here, and I'm going to do Woods, okay? And I actually, because this is not really a backpack, like the one we did one already, and it was a backpack, and I know that the backpack was either going to be used by me or by Fred. Fred's not going to use a pocketbook, that I know for sure. All right, so I can go ahead, you know, and I can, you know, pick a really nice font for myself, and kind of like this one. I like this one because it's a little bit on thick side. This is from Stitchtopia, and it's After Hours. But let me see there. I do have some designs by Juju fonts that I loaded on here that I had purchased. Didn't even know that I purchased it. And, you know, let me see if I see something that's a little nicer that I might want to put on here. Let's see. They got the new Faringo. That looks cute, but it looks a little bit on the thin side. That looks kind of cute. I like the W, but no. Okay. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Oh, this is not Goodbye. I kind of like this one. I mean, it has like that thick look, and it is kind of like, you know, easy to read and stuff like that. I don't want anything all funky. Okay, I'm going to stick to this one. I kind of like that. I kind of like it. It's simple and stuff like that. And you know what I'm thinking I'm going to do? I'm going to put all caps. There you go. I kind of like that. That looks a little good. And then I'm going to go over to the stitch, and I'm going to increase the compensation by 3. Okay. And if you guys don't know, when you increase the composition, what it does is actually makes it a little bit thicker. Okay. So I'm going to show you right here, like what I'm talking about. Now, I want you to watch the screen. As a matter of fact, let me make this a little bigger so that you can actually see it. And I'm going to go back to 0. And as you can see, when I went back to 0, see how this is right here. Okay. So if you want like the fonts to be like a little thicker and stuff, what you can do is increase the comp. Okay. And when you increase the comp, I go by 3. See how it went a little more thicker, and look how thicker and thicker it gets. Okay. But I think 3 is good enough. Three is like a good spot for me right there. Okay. So kind of like that. That's what I'm going to use. Okay. So now what I have to do is I have to save that to my USB. So I'm going to put my USB on my computer right now. And let me put this file on here. And that way I can save it. And it's going to do, I always do file save as. And then it did not read my USB. Sometimes this can get a little funky at times. Let's see, where is it? Oh, always something goes wrong whenever you do lives. Okay, Woods. All right, so let me try this again. Maybe it just didn't read my thing. Sometimes things get funky. All right. Is it reading it? Hold on. Give me a minute, guys. There it is. Okay, I got it. So here it is. It's in July. All right. So this is where I have it. Okay, so I'm going to save this right there. And then now that I have that saved, what I'm going to do is I'm going to close this, and I want to go into my Finder. And what I want to do is I want to go into July, and I want to make sure that Woods is there. I got this and this. Awesome. And then what I'm going to do now is I actually want to go in this, and I want to print. Okay. And I'm not going to print the 2 pages. I'm just going to print 1 page. Notice how I have my snowman on here. Okay. And then I'm going to print it. And I hope I printed to the right printer. Yeah, I did. Okay. All right. Awesome. All right. So now I'm getting rid of that. And then we are back in the thing, because now we're going to go ahead and we're going to start doing our thing. Okay. So let's see. I'm going to, all right. So let me go grab the printer, the print, and I'll be back. Okay, so I am back and I got it. Okay, so what I usually do in this situation, I like doing this. Okay, guys. I mean, I know some people don't like doing this step because they feel like I don't want to waste my ink, I don't want to waste the paper and all that kind of stuff. But I am going to tell you something. I personally prefer doing this because it's kind of like, it helps you to really make sure that it is going where you want it to go. I don't know. It's just me. That's just how I like to do things. Even when I work on customer orders, I always like to print out their template because I feel that it's just the easier way to do it, you know, and stuff. I mean, you don't have to, but for me, it works. Okay. So, all right, I'm going to print this out. Cut it out. What am I saying? All right, so here it is. I have my template, all right? And as you guys can see, it has the snowman feature on here, and then it has the crosshairs right there, okay? So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to place my template where I want it to embroider on the strap, okay? And then I like to tape it on here. And then what I like to do is I kind of like to scan it with the snowman, because then I know it's going to actually embroider exactly where I want it. All right. So I'm actually going to unplug you from there so that you guys can see me hooping it, taping it, and all that good stuff and everything. And you guys see exactly. Question. That printout, will it fit the strap? Yes, it does. And I'm gonna show you guys, Marlene, because see, this is the thing. Remember in the beginning of the live, I went and I took a ruler and I said, okay, this is 1.25 inches, right? So the font size that I picked was a 0.75. I didn't even want an inch. So that way I know that this is going to fit in the strap, okay, and stuff. So that's why I know it's going to. Okay, so let me pick you guys up. All right, and I'm gonna put you guys on this stand right here, and we're gonna head over to my cutting board so that you guys can see the process. And let me move a lot of this stuff out of the way. I got stuff everywhere. So and I'm supposed to be working on towels and all that kind of stuff and everything, but I'm telling you guys, I've been in a funk. I don't know what it is. Okay, so let me move these out of the way. All right, so I have this. I have my strip. Okay, and I'm also going to take painter's tape. Here we go. All right, so let me put you guys down here so you guys can see exactly what I am doing. All right, so what do I have here? I have my 4x4 hoop. And the one thing that I like to do is I always like to make sure that the template that I'm using actually fits within the hoop that I'm going to use. And as you can see, plenty of space in here. Okay, so I should be fine. All right. And so let me move this on the side. And this is the color thread that I actually picked. I think that this orange will actually look really cute on here. I think it'll stand out because I didn't want something that was going to get buried. So I'm going to pick this one. I'm going to put this on the machine. All right. So these are towels too. Let me get these out of the way because I don't want to have a whole bunch of stuff all over the place. And then people get confused as to what I'm trying to show. All right. So here we go. All right. I was going to say, I lost my template. Okay. So let me move this out of the way as well. All right. So I have painter's tape. I like the painter's tape because there's enough grip, but it's not like really harsh. Okay. So I'm going to just cut a little bit of this. And I'm just using this to hold the template together. So I'm going to put this on the side right here. And we'll put it together later. Okay, so I'm going to use this. Okay, so this is the part where it has the buckle. And this is usually where you start moving your strap in and out, right? And because it's where I move the strap, and I'm going to make my screen a little bigger because I want to make sure that when I'm showing you guys stuff that you guys see exactly what I'm seeing. Okay, so because you have this buckle right here, you don't want the embroidery to be in any of the area where your buckle is going to be rubbing up against, okay? There's going to be times when I'm going to want my strap to be long or I'm going to want it to be short. And then I'm going to end up doing this to it. And then what's going to happen, it's going to be rubbing on the embroidery. And it's not going to be good because it can get it really dirty and all that kind of stuff. And then it can mess it up within time. So not doing that. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be putting the embroidery on the opposite end of this buckle. So we're going to go ahead and this is the other end. And as you can see, this is the back of the buckle. See how it bumps up? Okay. So this is the back and this is the front. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be putting the name in this area right here. So right here, I have this and I'm going to be taking the name Woods and I don't want it to be right on the bottom. I have no problem with it being somewhere in the middle, which I kind of like because that way I can have this hanging from the hoop. Okay. So I'm just going to take this. I'm going to place it exactly where I want it. And then I'm going to take my painter's tape and then I'm just going to tape down the template on that spot. It can go over the words, okay? The only thing that you cannot cover when you are doing this and you want to use your template is don't cover the snowman. So if you want to put tape and you want to put it like from the snowman on, you can, okay? So you can see this kind of came out, so I just haven't pushed it all the way in. Okay, so now I have this in place and stuff like that, and I'm gonna get this out of the way because we really don't need this at all. So you know, I attach it after I'm done. So this is the thread that I'm going to use. I'll put this on the side. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my station here, okay, and I want to use this hoop because this hoop will work, and I'm just going to place this right on here. And let me move this over so that way I can see this here. Okay. Make this nice and tight. All right, now this is tearaway stabilizer, okay? And I'm gonna be honest, I don't even think we need stabilizer. If you don't want to put stabilizer, I don't think you have to because this is pretty thick enough, but I'm just gonna do it. Out of habit. There you go, got it, got my stabilizer. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm actually going to wrap it. Now, if you notice, I took my strap, I'm putting it right dead center because I want to make sure that the name isn't anywhere near the edge of this hoop. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull this back, okay? And I'm holding it. Notice how I'm holding it with one hand right here, okay? And I'm holding it nice and tight so that way it's nice and straight and it's exactly where I want it to be, inside the hoop, okay? And now I'm going to take this hoop, all right, and I'm just going to snap it in. There you go. All right, so now I'm going to take this out and look at how nicely hooped it is, okay? See how nice it is? All right, now you do not want to take this off yet because remember, the reason why you have the template on here is because you want the machine to scan this. You want it to be able to read this right here, okay? So we're going to take this to the embroidery machine just how it is right here, okay? So, all right, so with that being said, now I have to change my thread as well. So now we have the hoop already done. So what I'm going to do now is let's go over to the machine because I have the machine right here set up, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to change the first needle because I don't have orange on here already. So I do have red. I could leave one of these, but I'm going to go ahead and change it because, I mean, why not, right? I'm here and I do want the orange on here. So I'm going to take out the red and let me go to the back because I like doing it from the back better. It's just a little easier. That is one thing also that I tell people. When you get these machines, sometimes I tell people, you know, you have to have some room behind the machine and the wall because sometimes you want to get in here if you have to like change out some thread. It makes it a little bit easier and stuff like that. So I'm going to put a little bit of spin on there. Here we go. There we go. Okay, we want to change that needle, that thread. All right, so I have it now tied. All right, so now what I do is I'm going to pull it through all the way, and I'm going to feed it. Okay, I've already oiled the machine. So the machine is oiled, okay? So let me just throw this in the garbage. Yeah, I can just move this over here. I have these little pails and stuff for the garbage and everything. So, yeah. Okay, so, all right. So, as I said, I have this already, right? We went ahead and we hooped this I have this right smack in the middle. As you can see, I'm using my snowman, okay? So let's go over to the machine. I want to show you guys how I actually do the snowman, all right? So let me hoop this first. And I got to change this to the right hoop because I was doing kitchen towels before. So I got to change this smaller. There you go. Now I can put this in. All right. Okay, cool. All right, so let me move this a little bit to you. And I see we have a little glare. Okay, so let me see if I can get you guys a little bit closer just so we can try to resolve that glare a little bit. Let me see. All right, cool. All right. Yep, that looks better, much better. I think you guys can see the screen a lot better. All right, so let me get my USB, and I'm going to get my USB. I'm going to actually put it in here because I needed to read the USB. And then I'm going to pull the file from them. And right there, you can see it has my file, okay, right there. I think there is like a little bit of glare. I'm trying to get away so that way you guys don't see the glare. But here we go. I'm picking woods, and there you go. It's there. I'm going to hit set, all right? Now, I'm actually going to change the color here. I'm going to pick the orange, okay, because that's how I actually want it to be. I'm going to hit OK. Now I'm done with the editing. I'm going to hit end edit. Now right here, you can see right here, I have like a little snowman. There you go. You have like a little snowman and stuff. Oh, good. This is a good angle because once I hit that snowman, then you can see it actually like read that stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit this snowman, and then I'm going to hit OK. It's because I wanted to, this is the right angle. And it, you know, you want to pay attention. That's one thing about the snowman. You want to pay attention to the snowman on this picture. The snowman on the picture is exactly the same as the snowman that's on the template. This little small circle is on the top and the big circle is at the bottom. And if you look on here, the small circle is on the top, the big circle is at the bottom as well. So I'm going to hit OK, and then I'm going to hit OK again. And it says recognizing. And what it's doing is it's using this little camera right here. This is a camera, and it is actually reading this, right? It's looking for that little snowman. Once it's found this snowman, it has already made its adjustments. And then it's saying you can remove the embroidery position mark, which means you can remove the template, and then I hit OK. Once I do that, then it knows exactly, it's going to embroider exactly where it's supposed to. The other thing that I like to double check, okay, is that you're going to notice that the embroidery machine has actually stopped at the actual center of that. But to make sure that it doesn't hit any of the side areas, what I like to do is do a trace, okay? So it's going to bring down this thing, it's going to do a trace, and I'm going to make sure that it's safe, okay? And it's not going to hit any of the sides of this. So now that I know that this is fine, okay, I can go ahead, and now I can actually say embroider and start it. But remember, it told me to take off this paper. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this paper out. Okay. So it's off. Okay. And then it's going to go ahead, and I can just put it aside. Then I can hit embroider. Okay. And it's saying the orange is the orange on needle number 1. And yes, it is on needle number 1, because remember, I went back there, remember, and I changed it, so it is needle number 1. All right, so now I'm actually going to go ahead and I'm going to unlock this, okay, because I did change it, and it's using needle number 1 as it said, and it's going to go ahead and it's going to start to embroider. So I'm going to hit OK. And now we're going to go ahead and watch this baby embroider. This is really quick. It's only 4 minutes. And it's embroidering in the exact spot where the template was. And this is embroidering at 900 stitches per minute. Oh, it's looking cute. That's looking pretty cute. Okay, I'm going to stop it. And the reason why I'm going to stop it is because I see that there's some loops that came up over here. So this is the way I fix it. Okay, that's why I say you should never walk away from your machine. Sometimes you want to catch things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, okay, and I'm going to cut it. All right. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pay attention to these numbers that are right here. It stopped at stitch 611. Okay. But the thing is I want to go ahead and I want to back stitch a couple. Oops. I want to add that. Okay. All right. And I'm going to hit okay. And then I'm going to go ahead. And what it's going to do is it's going to embroider on top of that area where those loops were kind of loose. It's just restitching that. And it came out a lot better. Because sometimes that happens, you know. Sometimes you end up with a little loop stitch here and there. But that's okay. So what I'm also going to do now, because I know that we had that little loose loop, is I'm going to slow down the machine just a little bit. I'm going to go down to 700 stitches per minute. That way the machine can take its time. And it looks like I got some loose stitches there as well. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to cut it, and it stopped at 821. That's okay. I'm going to go back a little bit. Yeah, this is supposed to be a quick stitch. But you want it to come out looking nice, you know? So sometimes you just gotta, there you go. And let me just slow it down a little bit. There you go. And there it is. And it could be the material, guys. Because look, it's coming out again. That's not good. All right, I'm going to stop that. Let's go back again. This is getting a little tougher than what I thought. But this is a perfect example is why you should always like watch your stitching. Because you don't want to walk away. Sometimes things aren't as perfect as you thought. Another one right here, man. And I'm gonna go back because I want to push that stitch down. Okay. Let's go slower. All right, I think we should be okay now, hopefully. Because I really like this bag. I want the embroidery to come out really nice. All right. Awesome. Okay, that gave me a little bit of a trouble here, but that's okay. All right, now we're doing the D. And this did not come out good. That's all right, I'll let it go. And I will take this out. I'm going to leave that so that you guys can see what I mean by sometimes you can have a loose thread somewhere. So you have to sometimes watch it. Let me look underneath. Oh, tension is perfect. Tension is pretty good, so it's not a tension issue. So it could be maybe I need a new needle. All right. Yeah, I think it's the material too. Could be that. Okay, now it's coming out nice and neat. And you got to remember, this is the other thing too, guys. Look at this material. See how it's a lot of bumps in here? Sometimes that will mess up the embroidery as well. So, you know, something to just keep in mind. All right, so now it's done. There's a little bit of there's two areas that I would probably have fixed if it was a customer's, but it's mine, so it's okay. But I want to leave it so you guys can see what I'm talking about. All right, so this is how it came out. Okay, came out pretty good. It's not bad. Looks pretty good to me. Okay, but there is two things that an embroiderer will notice. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. Let's go over to this board. And I'm going to show you guys exactly what I'm talking about, all right? I'm going to try to get it as close to the camera as possible, as possible, so you guys can see what I'm talking about. But let's come over to the table, and then we can talk some more about this, all right? Because I want to show you guys what I mean by a loose hoop, okay? Because you can get this, and if you know, there's a way to catch it, which is usually you stop the embroidery machine, you go back and let it stitch over, and it'll be fine. You know what I'm saying? As you saw how I did that. But let me take this out. Okay, and then I'm just going to tear off the stabilizer. Okay, and as you can see, the tension in the back is good. Let me take out that paper. Take out the paper so you guys can really see the tension. So it's not a tension issue. It's really just a material issue. Because, you know, some things are a little bit more challenging to embroider than others. So, yeah, so you just have to know that going in. Now, I don't know. I could have maybe used a topper, maybe that would have helped. Could have. I mean, I have a whole bunch of webbing, and I could give it a shot, but we'll see, you know. All right, so you guys can see this is the back of it, okay? So this is my tension and stuff. Now, I want you to see the front. All right, look at that. You can see that. Look at the D, okay? All right, and I'm going to do it where you guys can kind of like see it. All right, let me see. The D. Do you see that little hoop, that little bit right there? See that little thing right there? Touching it. I'm touching it. That is a loose hoop. I mean, it's no big deal. Customers really sometimes don't notice. If you really look at this, you're not going to notice it. You're going to be like, oh, it came out really good. You know, you're really not going to notice it. But if you do embroidery the way I do embroidery, you look at embroidery a little bit different. You actually look at the details of the thread. And the other thing that I want to point out, okay, is remember when we were at the machine and I held this up to you guys and I came out and I said, remember, look at this. Look at the texture that's on this strap. See? See how there's texture on there? Okay, see there's little bumps on the road and all that kind of stuff. It's not a smooth type of fabric. There is some bumps on there. Okay, so that kind of sometimes will kind of distort the embroidery a little bit. Now, since I just showed you that, I want you to take a look at the W. Okay, or look at the edging. Look at the edging of the letters. Do you notice how it gets a little bit distorted because of the material? Because if you notice the material, it's not a flat type of material. It has some type of texture to it. Okay, so if you would have asked me if I had to do this all over again, what would I do different? Well, because now I've had the experience with this, okay, these are some things that you can do, that you can consider. I would probably make a very small patch, or be creative and get a piece of fabric or something, right? Embroider the piece of fabric with the name. Then what you do is take that piece of fabric and you can stitch it on the actual strap with the name. Okay, that would come out really super cute. And not only that, you could do like little fabric with designs on it or something like that, or even plain. And you could just have the fabric just on here, sewn on the edges, just sew like it's like a patch with the actual name. That way you have that smooth looking embroidery on there. Okay, but if you are embroidering directly on this type of strap, just know that this is how it's going to come out. So if you have a customer that asks you to do something like this, you have to make sure that you let them know this is not a straight strap. Okay, and let them know, look at the texture, see those bumps, see how there's little squares in that fabric. Okay, that it can kind of like mess up how the embroidery is going to be on here. So you may want to just get a piece of fabric. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see if I could give you guys a visual of what I am talking about, because I got fabric stashed in here, okay? In my little chair, in my little magic chair in here. Let me move this out of the way here. Let me put this here. And there it is. I have little pieces of fabric. Okay. Okay. Just do this. Okay. I'll just take this. Okay. So, what do you mean, Jeanette? What I mean is embroider woods on here. Okay. Then take the fabric. All right. And then you cut it to size to here. Just fold it in so you don't have like a raw edge. Okay. Fold it in all four corners. Okay. You have the name of the person. Okay. Take your thing, right? Your strap. You're gonna fold it, put it right on top of this. Right on top like this. Okay? And it's like a little patch. Just, you guys get the idea, right? And let's say that this is all folded, right? And then this is embroidered. Then take this to a sewing machine. And then what you would do is you would just sew it around the name. And then you have like a little piece of fabric on here with the embroidered name. And the name is not distorted or anything like that. And it's cute on the fabric. That's something. It doesn't have to be something with designs on it. It could be a plain piece of fabric, or it could be another piece of fabric that's the same color as this or something like that. But if you need the embroidery to be like super perfect, and you know that it's gonna, that it might bother the customer to have it that kind of way, and I have a piece of thread hanging here. There you go. And it's gonna bother them that that it's kind of like warped or something like that. If this is not going to be satisfactory to the customer, then that's what I would do. That's all I'm saying. What I would do is I would just tell them, okay, you know, what I can do is I can embroider a piece of fabric and then I can sew it on your strap. Okay. So now that I have this there, to me, this is perfect. The other thing you can do is you have like these tails, right? So you can take a torch, and I have a torch right here. You can take a torch. Let me make sure I have this right. And you just wow, it almost went on fire. I'm not very good with fire, I'll tell you that. I think this is not gonna work. Okay, I'm not gonna do the torch on this because I saw that thing was, I'm like, don't do the torch. I know some people do this, but I'm scared of fire. I don't know where I got this. I mean, I got this for the patches, and it works great for the patches, but I got a feeling this webbing is not very good with the torch. So don't do what I did. Put your house on fire. Take scissors and just cut the tails. Cut the tails in the back. There you go. Safe. Because I kind of saw that. It sparked a little bit. And I said, oop, that's not good. That's not good. That's not going to be good. Fred be pissed off. He'd be like, you burned down the house. There you go. So, yeah, I was thinking, I could use my torch. Nope. Because this is not a material. I don't think it's torch friendly, actually. Don't do it. Yeah, I think I'm going to use this. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to use this for when I cook brulee or something like that. Cream brulee. That's what I'll do. I'm going to move this to the kitchen. We're not going to use this for embroidery. I'm not brave enough. Some people do it. They do it for hats too, to burn off the tails on the hats and stuff. Or the other thing you could do is use a hot knife. You can use a hot knife because a hot knife is a little more controlled. And then you can just put it over there and you can burn off the tails that way. That I probably feel a little safer. That is actually a torch. It's actually like fire coming out of that. So yeah, I'm not feeling too good. I had just literally got that. So that's why I was like, oh, let me try the torch. But no, now that I have tried it, I really don't care for it. So I am cutting the back. There you go. Looks better. Looks good. Looks cleaner. See? Looks good, right? All right. So now I got my pocketbook. Right? So all I have to do is put my straps on my pocketbook. Because we have a game on Sunday and stuff. My husband's a big Commanders fan. So we got season tickets, so we're going to all the games. So yeah, so there we go. So pocketbook has my name on it. Looks really good. So that way, in case, because sometimes what happens is you see a lot of people, they have like the same type of bags and stuff like that. So now it's like, I know right away this is mine because I have my name right embroidered on it. So, you know, so this is pretty cool. So this is what I'm going to be using on Sunday. So I'll be using this gang bag on Sunday. Going to give this a shot. Yeah. So I kind of like it. Oh, I didn't know it had zippers going two ways. I got this off of Amazon. So it opens this way. So yeah, and it looks like you can fit a lot in here and stuff. We have a backpack that's clear, and then I wanted to get something like this. And then we're also we got tickets for tailgate. So we're going to be doing tailgate as well. So yeah, so bing, got that. Isn't that cool? All right, guys. So I hope you guys like it. So let me put you guys back off of this rail, and let me put you guys back on the stand, and then we can chat about the project because yeah, we're at the end of the hour. Let me put this here on the side. Yeah, I'll put this on the side. Turn off my machine. One looks a little disorganized, you know. But that's okay. I'll get it working. All right. Got this. Put this here. Let me get some water too. And yeah. All right. So what you guys think? Do you guys think you guys like it or what? What's going on? Okay. Was that? Yes, it is. It's the 4 and yes. Beth, 4 1/4. 4 1/4 mighty hoop. You are correct. All right. Yeah. So let me go down the thing. I think I saw something from Susie. Okay. If you have time, just try to sample using that application on the SC1900 with sticky stabilizer and see how Woods comes out. Don't underestimate that. Yes, and I have done that. I had 2 bags and I did 1 bag with the SC1900. Yes. So, and I did it with sticky stabilizer as well. Yes. And it works with the template, Susan. So I have done it on the SC1900. So it came out really, really nice. Okay. So that was kind of funny, though, me using the torch, right? Because I almost put the house on fire. Because I don't know if you guys saw that, but it looked like a little spark and stuff. So I was just like, ooh, I better blow on that, you know. My throat is dry and stuff. Very, very dry. Okay, so I'm going to go down the chat. I'm going to say hi to everybody. And you guys tell me what you think and stuff. So I see, hey, Cynthia, how are you? How you doing? Hey, Marlene, how are you? I see Tina. I see Baby Giant Services. How you doing? Hey, Berendino, how are you doing? Cindy, how are you? Hey, Beth. I see Debbie. Hey, Eleanor. Gail. Eartha, how are you? Emma, Pearl, Jackie. Hey, Gail. My husband and I are gold season holders too. I hope I run into you there. Oh my God, that would be like so cool. Well, let me tell you, that's what we are. We're gold season tickets. And we are in section 315. And I don't know about you, Gail, but I kind of like it. This is the first year that we're a ticket holder, gold ticket holder. So, you know, I love it. They have the grab and go, you know, where you get the food and everything. So we're going to be doing the tailgates and everything. You will see me and Fred there. We always wear, well, not always. I just got my commander's gear. So we have the number 00. We have Woods in the back. So, and I have my, my commander's baseball hat too. So Gail, it would be cool if we did meet up at the game. Oh my God, I would love that. That would be like so cool. So if you do see me, because I think I'm in section 315, that is our section. Yeah, definitely say hi. Stop me, say hi and stuff. I would love to meet you. Hey Deborah, how are you? Hey Marcia. Hey Iris, I see Allison. Hey Evelyn. Eve there. How are you, Evelyn? Let's see. Hey, Pretend Bakery. How are you? Breeze. Miss Miller, how you doing? Oh, thank you. I plan on having the whole, you know what I really want to do at that quote show, Miss Miller, is I actually want to see if I could buy fabrics because I am really having a hard time purchasing fabrics as Joanne kind of like left. I don't know how you guys are doing it, but I have been ordering my fabrics from Missouri Star. I had just recently ordered my fabric again from Missouri Star. I bought pre-cut squares and I bought jelly rolls and the backing because now I want to sew Carlito's quilt. And he wants to do, you know, he wants me to do a black and white quilt for him. So I found these really cute charm packs that were in black and white. So I'm going to be doing his quilt next. So I'm pretty excited about that. So that's going to be a lot of fun. So looking forward to that. Hey, Bob, how are you? And Bob, I also want to say thank you so much for all your help in helping me with the Facebook group. I appreciate that, because as I said, to you guys before, I know there's a lot of groups out there where you get a lot of scammers coming in. And one of the things that I and even and Bob, he's recently joined me, he's trying really hard too, is we're trying to make sure that our Facebook group stays clean, that we have legit members. We don't have members that are, uh, all these digitizers just throwing stuff on there and everything. We really want our group to really be functional and people helping each other and everything. I know I myself have not been posting that much, but I'll tell you guys a little later about what's going on. I do have a lot of stuff going on right now that I just haven't shared too much. I think my sister knows a little bit about it today, but it's just, but I'm going to get better. And I have to get over this hump. Once I get over it, then I'm going to be back, and I'm just going to do a lot more videos and stuff and really just throw myself into this, because this is really like my space. This is what I really, really love to do. The problem that I'm having is I'm not finding the dedicated time to do it. I don't like interruptions and stuff. And I'm the type of person that I like stillness and quietness and stuff, which is kind of ironic because, embroidery is not a quiet thing, right? Those machines go on, there's a lot of noise. But the thing is, I need to focus and stuff. So a lot of distractions and everything. So I have to somehow find my space. I have to find not really my space, but the time where I can really focus and do my thing. And I've been having a lot of interruptions because, our lives have changed a lot lately. It really has. Fred retired, then I retired. And Mel has really been a little bit of a challenge, not of anything bad. It's just that I think instead of calling him Mellow, I should have called him Velcro, because he has been sticking to me it's like, wow. I mean, I get up, I leave a room, he's like, where should go, So he has gotten so super attached to me. And sometimes it's difficult to work with him because he really gets in the way. So I have to somehow find that. Like right now, he's on the side sleeping, but it's just, it's funny. It's like, I love that dog to death, but he always gets in the way. And I get a little nervous because, there's needles and stuff like that. And I don't want him, if I'm changing needles, especially if I'm changing needles, I don't want him in the room, because if I drop a needle, I need to be able to find that needle, because I don't want him to accidentally step on it and get in his paw, all that good stuff, So anyway, a lot going on. All right. So Masika said, I'm working on 2-pocket folder embroidery. My chosen font is cutting the folder. Any suggestions on the font that will not cut the folder? Okay, so I guess what you're doing is you're embroidering all these paper or plastic folders that a lot of people are doing. I'm not a fan of that. It's like one of the things that I say is that, embroidery is sometimes not for everything, right? So it is going to cut the folder. This is the thing that I don't really like about doing the embroidery on folders, guys. This is just Jeanette's take. If you guys want to do it, I mean, whatever. It's kind of very similar to when people were taking toilet paper and they were just embroidering toilet paper. I was kind of like, okay, I see the idea. It's cute. I like that. But my thing is that something that is practical, for long-term use, right? That's how I see things. So to me, because I saw the designs for the paper towels to really be cute and funny, that's when I said, why are we actually embroidering on the actual paper towel itself? Why don't you embroider on felt and you just cut it and then you use it as a a toilet paper holder, a cover. And that way you can just remove it and you can reuse it year by year and stuff like that. Embroidery is expensive. Thread is expensive and all that kind of stuff and everything. So sometimes I kind of look at some of the things that that people try, and I understand we're all just trying to be creative, and I got that and all that kind of stuff. But the thing is that sometimes you want to not just be creative, you want to be practical as well. So to me, embroidering on the folders, I just didn't find that as something like, oh, okay. Now, if somebody told me they wanted to embroider on folders, what I would tell them to do is say, hey, all right, I understand you want your name embroidered on a folder, but I think the more practical thing would be to embroider on a patch. And then we're going to take that patch and we're going to stick it on your folder. Or let's take some vinyl, let's go on Cricut and create a, just use vinyl and do that on a folder. When you are, because to me, this is how I look at it. A folder is either plastic or it's paper. And, and when you are embroidering, you're using needles and it's going up and down, right? And you're actually making holes on that material. It's not going to be something that, to me, is going to work. It's just not. I know that there's a thing where everybody's going around and they're doing it, but if I know you want to do it, so I mean, and I know the question is, any suggestions on a font that will cut the folder? I have to be honest, whatever you're doing, whatever font you choose, Miss Miller, I really think you're just going to cut that folder, because you're actually, you're cutting the folder with a needle. Okay. So, I mean, this is what I would do if I were you. If it's something you really want to do, take the folder that you already damaged. Okay, that's what I would do. First of all, you don't want to take a fresh folder. Okay, and try it with a very thin font. Okay, because one of the things that I would do, if someone said no, it has to be embroidered, then I would go ahead and I would use a font like this. Okay, and I'm going to share my screen again. Okay, because I want to show you what I would do. All right, so let me make this. No, let's go back here. Okay, and I'm going to do Woods, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a font that I would recommend using for that. Okay, and I'm going to tell you why I would choose this font if I had to embroider on that type of material. Okay, let's do the name Janet. Okay, now that's not the font that I would do. Hold on, I'm going to find it for you. Here we go. If you got to do a font for those folders, this is what I would do. And I'm going to tell you why. Okay, I want you to look at how this stitches out. See? It's not that thick. It's a light stitch. Hope you guys can see that. You see that? It's light. Okay. Now let me look at another font, and I could tell you if that's something that I would do or not. Because I think I have another one as well that you may want to try. Okay, now this is the thing too. Not everybody may want that type of font. Some people like very big, thick fonts. Some people, but this is just Jeanette. How I would do it. This is another one that I would try. Okay, if they don't want the thing, I would do this. And then one of the things that I would do with this, is I would just, move the letters a little closer. Let me see, I can just get it. Let's see. I think it's because I don't have it like that. Hold on. I don't know why, but anyway. See, and then I would just move these together, but don't overlap them like that, because then what happens is this area right here, what it's going to do is it's going to double stitch over it. you're going to want it so that you show a continuous type of font like that. Okay. So they're not like together. That's how I would do it. Just bump it up next to it. Don't overlap it. See how I'm doing? So it's like bumped up. That's how I would do it. Like that next to it. Okay. So that's what I would recommend doing that and stuff. So yeah. But that's how I would do it, Miss Miller. You know, if it was something that I had to do, then that would be the fonts that I would recommend. I would not recommend a font where you have all these layers of stitches going over and over and over and over and over, because then what happens is, like you said, it's going to cut the folder and the name's just going to pop out. It's very similar to like when people are embroidering patches on plastic. Okay, and I did a video on that. If you saw that after I did the embroidery on the plastic, I was able to just go ahead and just pop out the patch. Well, what's going to happen is as the person starts to use that folder, okay, it may not pop out right then and there when you finished embroidering, but as they use that folder, trust me, it's going to pop out. It is going to pop out. So you have to be very careful about the font that you choose. If you choose something like what I just showed you, chances are it will be good. You're not going to have issues with that, you know? Oh, and there you go. Eartha's looking right there. A chain stitch font. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Yes. Look at that. I didn't even have to say anything. Eartha gave you the question. Oh, my goodness. I want to get better at printing my design. Yeah, Bree, printing the designs is pretty cool. Oh, kind of, Bob said, kind of envy that snowman makes hooping so much easier. It does. And I know because Bob has the 6 needle machine. Now, I have the 6 needle machine too. The 6 needle machine, what it does is it has the laser pointer. So one of the things that Bob would do is he could use the template. The template has the crosshairs. So when he actually hoops it, what he can do is he can make sure that that laser pointer goes to the crosshairs up and down and sideways. If not, that he would have to rotate and adjust the design himself. It doesn't automatically do that. So he has to be a little more careful with the hooping and stuff. But I will tell you, I kind of wish that the machines that are 10 needle, they don't have that laser. I don't know if the new 10 needle machine has that laser. If they did, I don't remember seeing it. But if they did, that's an improvement right there. But I know that the 10 needle machines don't have the laser. They just have the camera. And then the 6 needle machine, because it doesn't have the camera, it has the laser. But I really wish that if they had a machine that had both, that would be awesome. But the snowman is a really awesome feature because it does really make it easier for you to align things and stuff. So that is like pretty cool. Hey, Iris, how you doing? Marlene said, will the printout fit the stack? Yes. All you have to do is just cut it, and as you saw, it no problem. Same. I also need to get better at stitching my designs. I got a full embroidery library, and I've only stitched like 20. Yeah. You know how many designs I've purchased, and I still haven't stitched them out. Same here. Mornino says he loves digitizing and embroidery. Learned so much over the years. Have not touched digitizing as of yet. Played around with it, but I'm just a machinist. I just love doing it. Perfect. Muy bien. Always print my designs. I do too. I have gotten into the habit of it. Now, I will say sometimes it sucks because, you know, it does use a lot of your ink and all that kind of stuff. But the thing is, I feel like I feel better when I print out my designs and stuff. Hey, Margie. Oh, have you ever heard of a belt hoop? I want one, but can't justify the $300 price tag. I have not heard of that. I'm gonna have to look that up and stuff. But Bob, I agree. It's like everything is so pricey. I have been trying to look at the hoop for quilting on the 1055X, and I believe they want like $600 for it, something like that. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to spend that much on that. I just don't know. It's just, I'm like, I kind of feel the same way. After a while, it's kind of like, well, do you really need that? I mean, can you accomplish the same thing, doing it another way, So that's why it's kind of like, that's how I sometimes feel sometimes. So it's like, and things are expensive now. I mean, things are really going up in price. I mean, like big time. It's like, I don't even want to go to the supermarket anymore, because every time I go over there, I feel like I got robbed, It's just amazing to me. So it's just like, ugh, I don't know. But I think I would put the strap on your back, adjust it, try the bag, and then see where you want the name on it. Yeah, you can do that if if the placement is really like important. For me, I don't really care. Honestly, I mean, I just wanted the name on the back so I could identify it. That's it. And stuff. I'm not pretty particular about that. Some people are though. Some people are. So, if it was a customer, absolutely. That's where, Jackie, I would come out and say, well, where do you want it? That's where I would. But for me, it's like, do you mean hoop? No, belt hoop. Oh, I gotta look that up. Hey, Lori, how are you? Hey, Jenny, how you doing? Yes, saw it on a Sewing Machines Plus website. It's the Dookie name frame. Hey, Nancy, how you doing? Watching me on my TV. Nancy will be coming here soon, guys. I pick her up on Wednesday. And then it's going to be fun. And stuff. What speed are you using? Well, Marlene, as you saw, while I was doing the embroidery, I did slow down the machine. At first, it started at 900, then I lowered it to 700. I went all the way down to 400 stitches per minute. That's what I did. Carol says, I love the 1055 so much. Camera and snowman for the win. I know. And I'm going to be honest with you, Carol. That is really, that feature to me is so like, I just love it. I truly love it. And it just works for me. It just really does. And, I like my machine. I do. I really do. I use it all the time. It's perfect for placement. I just love it. It really does. It's like you can't go wrong with it. Totally worth it. They're expensive machines, but when you look at all the different embroidery machines, they all are expensive. So to me, I always tell people, when people ask me what machine I should get, I'm like, I always tell them, you have to decide what's important to you. And then I would make the decision from that point. What is the features that are a must? I have to have this. I would go from there. And then always support is so important and stuff. Hey, JB, how are you doing? Hey, Peggy, how you doing? Oh, thank you, Marlene. Thanks. Maybe it's your needle. It could be, Tina, because I did change my needles. And then I had a big bulk order. So I got a feeling it might be it, because I had a big bulk order. And then right after the big bulk order, what I did was I started to embroider some more of my stuff. And it got a little up there. So yeah, it could be. I think it is time to change the needles. I just haven't had time to change them. So it could have been. Thank God it's my bag. I use snap to pull I could do that too. I have those. I have those. But this is the thing, Carol. The strap on that bag is very thick. So that snag nab needle might not go through too easy. I don't think so. It's like if it was a plain fabric, like cotton fabric or something like that, absolutely. You use that, goes right through, not a problem. But that webbing is pretty tough, and I don't, I think it might be a little more difficult to do. I think it was texture of the fabric that caused it. A topper may help. It may have, and I think it could have. I agree. I think Tina's right about the needle, and I think you're right. I should have probably put a topper on there, and that probably could have helped a little bit and stuff. Carol said she would hide snacks in that chair. It's a cute chair, I will tell you. And what I should be doing is putting my scissors and stuff like that in there. That's what I should do. I prefer safe to or tiny wine bottles. Yeah. Love the embroidery on the bag strap. Oh, people seem to like that. For tails, battery operated threads. Yep, I've heard of that too. Hey, Susan. Yep, and I've used it on the thing. Like that. I had bordering straps on my to-do list. Need to try it. Yeah, the straps are pretty easy to do. I mean, I have even done the strap of book bags. Okay, and I think I did a video of that too. But yeah, so because sometimes the boys, they don't want their name on the back of the bag, they just want it on the strap, so I've done that and stuff. I bought the SC1900 because of your view. I love it. I know, I love mine too. I still have it back there. It's one of my favorite, especially even the sewing side, the embroidery and the sewing. I love the way it sews. I really do love the way it sews. Just love it. Hey, crafty Puerto Rican. Before you know it, we'll be hanging out next week. Evelyn says she's gonna try it. Let's see. Debbie said I've embroidered karate belts and dog leashes. They were so thick, so I didn't use the stabilizer. Yeah, sometimes when the material is really, really super thick, you really don't have to. Because honestly, the tearaway stabilizer didn't do much. I could have just went without it and it would have been fine. Yep. I make personalized guitar straps for the hubby's business. There you go. Faker on. I don't think this Faker is on today. Yeah, you're right. Kind of miss her and stuff. Bob said, oh no, Beth. I had a loop on a recent order after I unhooped. Does anyone else use a tool by Drizzle brand snag it tool? I pulled the thread back with the embroidery needle. Was very tedious. Yeah, sometimes I just don't. What you could have did too, Beth, is what you could have did was you could have done is take the embroidery thread, put it on a regular needle, and hand sewn it so that you could have pushed that thread back. You could have hand sewed it instead of using a snag it and drag tool. That's another way you could have done it, because I've done that too myself. But I'm having trouble locating clothing fabric. You have Lobby Hobby close by. Want to be able to touch and see the fabrics before I buy it. And yeah, and you know what, Bernino, I feel the same way. That's one of the things that I really liked about Joann's, and I think a lot of people miss that shop. I have to tell you, I think a lot of people miss it, because in Hobby Lobby, I mean, they're okay, but I just really like, because Joann was so big and they had so many different types of fabrics. Now, Hobby Lobby's okay, and I know Michael's is trying to get into the fabric business too, but I really miss Joann's, I tell you. I really sometimes wish that I lived closer to like Missouri Star or something like that. Susie's Quilt Shop has fabrics and stuff, but it's a small shop as well. So yeah. Um, Shabby Fabrics has beautiful and great products. Maybe I should try them too. I think the ridges on the strap is just too deep. There are other choices of strap. I'm glad to do this. You took one for the team. I did. It's my bag. But it's my bag. So I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I'm okay with it. I feel the same about fabric. Haven't ordered any since Joann's gone. Everybody's gonna run out of fabric. I'm looking for fun cotton flannel since Joanne went out. Any suggestions from the chat group? Yeah, I mean, we miss Joanne's. I wonder if something else will come. I just don't know. Thread, one time I saw thread coming from my dog Bobby's mouth. I pulled it out. It was 20 inches long coming from his tummy. So dangerous. Yep. The dog is probably so happy that you're home all day. So adorable. Yeah. And Margie, you do have to be very, very careful because, I mean, pets don't know, right? They really don't. So that's why I am very meticulous about my sewing shop. I before I close this place, I always vacuum, I always clean, everything is in its place. And depending on what I'm doing, sometimes I won't allow Mello to be inside the room with me. Sometimes I make him stand at the door, like right now where he's at. I don't know if you guys see him in the background over there. He's sleeping. See, he's over there sleeping right there. Okay. So that's usually like if I am changing needles on my machines. Okay. If I, changing needles and stuff like that, I'm like, he can't be in the room at all. So he will sit by the door. Okay. And I change all the needles and stuff because if a needle falls down, no. If I'm sewing with pins, he's by the door. He's not inside with me. If I'm actually just, sewing with clips, I don't mind, because that's fine. He doesn't bother them or anything. But I do watch them, and sometimes, especially in bordering, because I have the machines, I'm walking back and forth a lot, and I have the customers' items. I don't like Mello to be around, especially with customers' items, because I know he doesn't shed or anything like that. But the thing is, I'm dealing with other people's products, and I want to be as careful and respectful of their items as possible. So I always make sure that he is not around when I'm embroidering. Okay. He just hangs out by the door and stuff like that because I don't want any dog hair. I don't, I like to work in a nice, clean environment, and I don't put customers' items on the floor. I don't even put my own stuff on the floor. I don't like doing that. Because it's, I just don't. It's not something that I do, So anyway, but yeah, Susan, he is happy that I'm here all the time, but it is hard. It's not easy because he just wants to be like right under me, so it can get kind of difficult and stuff. I made the plastic folder for my grandkids back at school, and they love them because it is different. I used a thin font. There you go, a voice satin stitch font. Slow down the machine. They came out amazing. There you go. So it's really the font. So maybe you could be picking something that's too thick, and maybe that's why it's popping out and stuff. But it is different. It is different. My pit. Oh my. Bernardino is saying that his pit ate a spool thread. Scared me half to death. Luckily, he threw it out. See? You got to be careful. I make sure all my stuff is accounted for now. Can't afford no vet bills. Vet bills are expensive, let me tell you. Very, very expensive. I took Mello to the vet for 2 vaccines, and I walked out of there paying $800. I mean, it was just, but it was a lot. It wasn't just for the vaccine, because at this, let me be fair, okay? It was his allergy shot, 2 vaccines, and 6 months worth of flea and tick medicine. So because of, and it's a lot of money with the flea and tick medicine. So because I don't want to go to the vet every month for flea and tick medicine. So I just tell him, give me 6 months worth. That way he has it, and then we're good. Yeah. Hey, Berman, how you doing? How you doing? Oh, thank you, Jeanette. This is for the grandkids. Going to choose this type of font and try to change the density on the soccer ball. Oh, are you also, you're putting a design too? It could be too that maybe the design and stuff is probably, puncturing. Yeah. But Jenny from the Crafty Puerto Rican, she brought up a good point that I didn't consider. It's different. I bet you that when people had their Cricut machines, everybody was probably putting vinyl on everything. And that's probably why maybe this became popular, is because it is different. So that's true. I didn't think of it that way, and stuff. Take a date and just embroider for fun. Yeah, I should. I mean, I did take one day because I have some designs for some new stuff that I wanted to put out there, and I did embroider it and stuff like that, and it came out okay and everything. So yeah, but I have so much more that I have to do. I gotta find the time. I really do, and stuff, but uninterrupted time. That's what I need. Let's see, at least to build my embroidery samples books. Yeah. Oh, bye, Sandy. Have a good one. Let's see, going down. Okay, let's see. Do you think this is something that can be embroidered? A toddler Aspica overall, front chest, over the pocket, within the pocket seam, using or is this too thick? You can embroider on that, yes. Even if it's too okay. You can do it on a hoop 4x6 sharp needle. I would not use sharp needles, okay? Because sharp needles is not for clothes. Sharp needles actually cuts the fibers. So what you want is a ballpoint, okay? And then I would do, Beth, is I would use a topper. And if you feel that the material is too fluffy and that the font stitch is going to sink in, then that's when I would use an emboss file, or I would use knockdown stitches. Yeah. If you can fit it in the hoop, then yeah. If you can fit it in the hoop, you can put it. Put Mello in doggy daycare. Peggy, I am considering that. I really am. I have thought about that. I have thought about that. And I think what's going to happen is he'll probably like doggy daycare so much that he probably won't want to come home. Who knows? So I am thinking about that. It's something that I am considering. I used the last of fabric from Joann's that I really liked. I miss it so much. I think everybody is missing that. I'm trying to find a good source for Tulip Pink's new collection. See, everybody's feeling it. I used to go to Joann's, and my granddaughter and I would go downtown LA, and now it's scary to go down there. I have 2 new stores in my town, but all it sells is cotton. Yeah, and Joann's used to have all types of materials, so it was just, I I've seen so many fabric stores go out of business. I know it sucks. Started shopping for fabric at my local, yep, to support since Joanne isn't around. I feel like some more, yep. And that's what I started doing too, which is why I want to do, I'm hosting the embroidery club at Susie's because I want to support her. And I know when I do the embroidery club, then, it's like I could, help people, and help her get more people in the shop and everything like that. Because, running those little shops, it's expensive. People really don't realize that. Try Marshall's Good Dries, and they had a retail side to buy yardage, the wholesale site to buy bolts. Fran, I gotta check that out. Love your idea at hand sewing with embroidery needle to catch the loop and push it down. Yeah, I mean, that's what I would do. That way you feel like, you can go slow, and I feel like you have better control. And then the other thing too is you got to remember those snag needles, they're great for cotton and all that kind of stuff. But remember, they do have some rough edges, right? And that's to help pull that loop down. But you don't want to damage those other embroidery threads. So sometimes if I feel that what's happening and the type of material, maybe a snag needle might do more damage than help, and I'm not too sure about it and I don't want to chance it, just take a regular sewing needle, put embroidery thread on it, and just loop it, and you push it down yourself, and that will work. And at the same time, I feel like you have better control over it too. Hey, Jen, I just opened my Etsy shop and I will be selling pre-cut fabric clips. I know you learning to quilt. I purchased a rag quilt from AccuQuilt, adding to my shop. Does Nancy use them? Oh, okay. Well, T-shirt plus production. Please post the link to your Etsy shop in the chat so we can all check out your Etsy shop. Because I would love to support. And the AccuQuilt, my neighbor has it. I know they have the ones with the handcraft, the one that you use, that you roll, and then she has the electric one. And me and my sister were thinking about that. And there are kind of pricey, and you have to buy the dies. So I have thought about it. I've been playing with the idea, but I'm not too sure if I'm gonna invest in one of those myself, because to me it's like I feel like then you have to commit to buying the dies, and then if the dies wear out, you got to buy the covers and all that kind of stuff. So I think I'm gonna try, like, maybe later on I'll do it, I don't know, but as of right now I really got to learn how to properly use my rulers and start cutting. So I want to do manual. I really want to do manual for now and stuff. But me and Nancy have talked about those AccuQuilts. Because my neighbor that does quilting, she actually uses that and she loves it. I mean, she says she just loves using that machine and stuff. So I don't know. I mean, I was looking at it when she was showing me how she did it, and I was just like, oh, that's so easy. And it was so exact. So I was just like, So I'm toying with it my way. So anyway. My closest shop is a couple of hours away. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So it's been hitting us, guys. It really has, so to me, the shopping that I'm going to be doing at the Sewing and Quilt Show, and I wouldn't be surprised if I see a lot of people selling fabrics there. I really would not be surprised because of Joanne's closing. So that's going to be pretty interesting. So yeah, looking forward to that. So guys, I am going to call it the night because I'm going to hit the bed. And then what I want to do is I'm going to wake up super early because I do want to at least embroider like some samples for, because I have to be at Susie's quilt shop tomorrow at 10 o'clock in the morning to do setup and everything like that. And then the club is meeting at 10:30. yeah, because I'm gonna be Matthew's gonna help me set up and everything. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about tomorrow and stuff. So tomorrow is my second day at the embroidery club, and it's gonna be super fun. And I'm really looking forward to seeing everybody and stuff like that, so that we get to talk and do show and tell and all that good stuff. So guys, I will talk to you guys later. Thanks so much for hanging out with me tonight, and I won't see you next Friday because I will be at the Expo, but I will see you the following Friday. Okay, so yeah. So I will talk to you guys later. All right. So you guys have fun. Take care and have fun sewing and embroidering. So I will see you guys later. Have a good one. Bye now. Have a good night.